Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, surrounded by deep forests and sparkling rivers, there lived a poor couple who longed for a child. One day, the woman stood by the window and looked into the garden of a tall stone wall behind their cottage. This garden belonged to a powerful sorceress, and in it grew the most delicious green plant called Rapunzel. The woman stared at it every day and craved it so much that she began to grow pale and weak. "If I don't eat some of that Rapunzel," she whispered to her husband, "I feel I might never be well again." So her husband, out of love and worry, climbed over the wall at night and picked a handful of Rapunzel. The woman ate it and felt better at once. But the next evening, he climbed again, and this time, he was caught by the sorceress. "How dare you steal from my garden?" she cried. The man fell to his knees and begged, "Please, my wife needed the plant to survive. We will do anything." The sorceress glared at him and said, "You may take the Rapunzel, but when your child is born, she will be mine." Too frightened to say no, the man agreed. She was beautiful, with golden hair like the sun. The sorceress appeared and took the child away. She named her Rapunzel, after the plant. Rapunzel grew into a sweet, kind girl with long golden hair that touched the ground. The sorceress locked her away in a tall tower hidden deep in the forest. The tower had no door and no stairs, only a single window at the top. Whenever the sorceress wanted to visit, she stood below and called, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, so I may climb the golden stair." Rapunzel would let her hair fall down like a rope, and the sorceress would climb up. One day, a young prince was riding through the forest when he heard Rapunzel singing from her tower window. Her voice was so sweet, it made the birds stop to listen. He came back every day, hiding behind trees and bushes, listening to her songs. Then one evening, he saw the sorceress cry out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." When she climbed up, the prince was amazed. The next day, he stood beneath the tower and said the same words. To his surprise, the golden hair fell down, and he climbed up to meet Rapunzel. Rapunzel was startled but kind. The prince spoke gently, and they began to talk every day. They told each other stories, laughed, and soon, fell in love. He said, "One day, I will take you away from this tower, and we will be free." They made a plan. The prince would bring her silk threads, and she would secretly braid them into a ladder. But one day, Rapunzel spoke without thinking and asked the sorceress, "Why are you so much heavier than the prince?" The sorceress grew furious. She cut off Rapunzel's hair and cast her out into the wild forest. Then she waited in the tower. When the prince arrived, she let down the braid. As he climbed up, he found not Rapunzel but the angry sorceress. She cast a terrible spell, and he fell from the tower into thorn bushes, losing his sight. For many months, the blind prince wandered the forest, calling for Rapunzel. And one day, he heard her voice again. Rapunzel ran to him, and as she cried, her tears of love and sorrow fell into his eyes, and like magic, his sight returned. They were finally together. The prince took Rapunzel to his kingdom, where they were married with great joy. The people cheered for the golden-haired girl and the kind-hearted prince. They lived happily ever after, in a castle with tall towers but none that locked anyone away. And Rapunzel, she never stopped singing.